Hey, this is a video response for Shafe. Welcome back, sir. I don't know what our current topic is. Check Backwoods, he did a blanketed response. I can't even remember what my last video was about. I think I did maybe like a weekend extravaganza, like multiple postings after my latest hunting trip, but I can't remember what my verbal vlogs were. I may have done one, but Israel's a fine enough subject, and I kind of like it moving forward. This is responding to what you were saying about Israel not doing what it takes. And I don't want to get into so much of that story. For me, is all hearsay. I'm going off of what the news says about what people say about what people say about what the news says. I don't know factually. I'm not there in Israel, same as I'm not there in Ukraine. And even if I was there, what's one person's eyewitness perspective into all of it, right? But to respond with the measurement of Israel's so-called retaliation with the bombing strikes and everything else, I think Israel is in a funny situation maybe where their existence depends on outside assistance. I can't imagine that nation continuing for very long without the substantial support that they get from the United States and other Western nations. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think they have, say, factories that build airplanes and helicopters and machine guns and tanks. I think those are mostly American items that they purchase from us with money that we give to them in the first place. It's a pretty wild scenario. The thing I find strange, Israel as a whole country is like a multinational country. It isn't comprised solely of the Jewish people. So I don't understand, say, like the Arab offensive, this so-called group called Hamas, attacking a particular suburb and actually having such success that, from what you were saying, they had 1,400 civilian casualties. What I can't wrap my head around is there no, in that area, is there no law enforcement response? Is there no quick reaction force in those locations? Here in my town, not so long ago, there was an active shooter, and I actually saw the police response. It had to have been 30 to 40 squad cars just out of nowhere, all going to the area. I don't understand. Is there more to that story? I don't know. And I think you got politicians like AOC and all those other people that are hip and shit that want to merely stick up for the underdog and are pushing a Marxist agenda of you're raising up the underdog, and that's what it's all about. It's about chaos and about shifting the existing paradigm. It's all such a crazy experience because if you look at it from a fifth generation warfare, meaning we're beyond just guerrilla tactics, non-uniformed combatants, it's really about the movement of the zeitgeist and how people's perceptions are. It was a couple years ago, maybe. It had to have been more than a couple years ago because I was really into TikTok. So maybe 6 years ago, somehow in my TikTok feed, I came across people in Gaza Strip and kids in Lebanon allegedly uploading videos where they would be showing something, doing something nice and sweet and innocent like what kids do, something we can easily identify with. And then the short video is interrupted by an air raid siren and a little thing comes down like Israel attacking. So it pulls at your heartstring. It pulls at something center. How do you fight that, right? How do you fight that when situations like that, they cherry pick and then they put them up against, what seems to be naked aggression, which I don't think that's naked aggression. It's retaliatory. But how does a nation respond when it's attacked, right? What is right? There's no such thing as lawful war, so we can already pull that off the table. But to quote the character from The Untouchables, Sean Connery's character, I can't remember what the name of him is, if they come and they bring fists, we'll bring a knife. If they bring a knife, we'll bring a gun. If they bring a gun, we'll bring a rifle. If they bring a rifle, we'll bring a bigger gun. One of them puts one of us in the hospital, we put one of them in the morgue. You make the idea of attacking your nation so detestable that nobody would even try. To that, I would agree that Israel's not doing that full measure. But I feel that in the end, because their existence is reliant upon Western support, and Western support seems to be morally permissive on the violence that they would allow, I don't know what to make of it, And I'm not sure if these things are just a delightful distraction. I've had hearsay type opinions come across my feed that talked about this was intended to kick off a huge Arab revolution to where they would once again take the Middle East and turn the Middle East fully Muslim. I've heard hearsay reports, and people that I know and trust have said this when they were overseas and they would have people captured, say whether it was Iraq or if it was Afghanistan, they would be able to prove credentials that some of these people that they had grabbed, they were from Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Yemen. They weren't Afghan people fighting in Afghanistan. These were foreign soldiers coming in to fortify and push a Muslim offensive, according to what they say. I don't have the answer on how to fight back with that, because how do you fight back against a principality when, say, you kill somebody's father, but in killing that person, you've created more enemies of all of his children, all of his friends, all thinking you're the bad guy. There's some real good information and strategies out there for how to fight insurgencies, but for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like our military doctrine follows it. And we never seem to be able to, quote, kill them with kindness. It's always, we can't run the full measure of doing what it takes. For example, what would you do? Let's turn back the clock to 1991 and going back to Somalia and Mogadishu when we were trying to capture Aidid, and they had the terrible long storied situation of Black Hawk Down, where the Army Rangers and the small mission unit got caught without air support, following a, for their accounts, a very successful counterattack by Adid's military force. How do you win in that situation? People are starving to death. The United Nations declares that intervention must be necessary, and now you have all these forces. How do you win in that situation? Truckloads and truckloads of rice and food came in that got captured, according to what I've seen. It's just it's a nightmare that I don't have the answer to, and I don't think our response was necessarily correct in that either. Pulling back out after the Battle of Mogadishu, seemingly to pull back out, gave those enemy combatants the encouragement that it is possible to blacken our eye. It said, listen, it is possible to get this nation to blink. And man, we can blink, because principalities aren't so cut and dry. It exists in some strange spiritual realm, and I don't think you can fight back against a spirit with anything short of a miracle. But great topic, sir. Welcome back, and to everybody else later.